Majority Leader, can you confirm whether the House has acquired the required quorum?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have a quorum in the House.
Thank you, Clerk. Can you take us with the order of the day?
Supplementary order paper number 97B of today, Thursday, 10th August 2023 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I want to share with you a privilege that I recently acquired. As you can all see, I have a small badge on my left hand. This is a badge that confirms me as a member of Rotary International. I know we have members here who are members of Rotary, and I would urge that we all join to serve our community, as our slogan in Rotary is service above self. Rotary began as a meeting between 4 friends who started rotating and visiting each other, and the very first project they ever did was to build a toilet. And for more than a century now, Rotary has bridged cultures. Rotary has connected continents, championed peace, fought illiteracy and poverty, and it has helped millions get access to clean water. And in Rotary, we have a 4-way test that stands as our guide in all our undertakings. That is, in whatever we do or whatever we say, is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And as Rotarians, we say, number 5, will it be fun? So in Rotary, we all have fun, serving the people above self. So all members who may be interested in joining Rotary as a club, you're most welcome. And honorable members, I'm asked to kindly inform the persons below that they've been invited to attend the Lake Region Economic Bloc meeting scheduled to take place tomorrow, Friday, 11th August 2023 at Sarova Imperial Hotel from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. That is, we have the Honorable Speaker, we have the Leader of Majority, the Leader of Minority, all committee chairs, that is the liaison committee members, and the clerk of the assembly. You've been asked to kindly confirm your attendance for reservation of the seats. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Yes, Honorable Majority.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like to lay the following papers. 1, pursuant to the provision of Section 32 of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012, I wish to table today, Thursday, 10th August 2023, report of the Auditor General on the examination and audit of Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2022. 2, pursuant to the provision of Section 32 of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012, I wish to table today, Thursday, 10th August 2023, report of the Auditor General on the examination and audit of Kisumu County Lakefront Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2022. 3, Pursuant to the provision of Section 32 of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012, I wish to table today, Thursday, 10th August 2023, report of the Auditor General on the examination and audit of Kisumu County Education Fund for the year ended 30th June 2022. And lastly, 4, pursuant to the provision of Section 32 of the Public Finance and Management Act 2012, I wish to table today, Thursday, 10th August 2023, report of the Auditor General on the examination and audit of City of Kisumu for the year ended 30th June 2022. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, I want to confirm the receipt of the following papers. Number 1 is the report of the Auditor General on the examination or audit of Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2022. Number 2, the report on the Auditor General on the examination and audit of Kisumu County Lakefront Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2022. 3, the Auditor General report on the examination of audit of Kisumu County Education Fund for the year ended 30th June 2022. And finally, the report of the Auditor General on the examination and audit of City of Kisumu for the year ended 30th June 2022. And I would want to direct that these reports be committed to the Committee of PICPAC for further deliberations and report back to the House within 21 days. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, it's statement hour. If we don't have anyone with any statement, I want to give this opportunity to the able Deputy Chair Health to give us a little statement on a meeting she had today.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to inform the House that today in the morning we had a meeting with Child Care, a group that is working on nurturing care for early childhood development. And it was a very good meeting and a very good initiative, since you know the early days of a child are the most important part of development for a child. And as I always say, that what you teach a child is what the child comes out to be. And out of that meeting, we as the department, as the Committee of Medical Services, we are looking forward to working together with them in developing regulations, in developing the laws that will guide the early childhood development of Kisumu County. And they promise that very soon they are willing to meet the whole House and give a talk on the project and on the way forward. Otherwise, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next order.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of the report by Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation Committee on the status of referral hospitals in Kisumu County. A motion to be moved by the Honorable Emily Oginga, the Vice Chair of the committee.
Yes, Honorable Emily.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, here I have the report on the status of referral hospitals in Kisumu County. It was submitted pursuant to Standing Orders number 193/5 AG, presented by Honorable Vincent Jagongo, the chairperson. Mr. Speaker and Madam Speaker and honorable members, may I take this opportunity to thank all the members and secretariat of this committee for their dedication during this exercise. Equally, the committee applauds officers of the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly of Kisumu for offering extreme support and a show of goodwill that culminated to success of the exercise and further production of this report. Honorable Speaker, the committee wishes to convey its utmost and sincere gratitude to the management of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital and Kisumu County Referral Hospital for the amiable welcome and full cooperation they accorded the committee. Finally, special recognition and gratitude goes to Honorable Karen Ajuang and Honorable Pamela Oyo, who spared their time out of their possibly busy schedules to accompany the committee to the two facilities, despite not being its members. Their input and dedication cannot go unnoticed. It is therefore a great honor and privilege on behalf of the committee to present to this honorable house the report of the Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation on the status of referral hospitals in Kisumu County for consideration and adoption. Presented by Honorable Vincent Jagongo, Chairperson. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, the committee executes its mandate in accordance with the provisions of Standing Orders 195/5 and second schedule from which it draws its mandate that states all matters relating to county health services, including in particular county health facilities and pharmacies, ambulance services, promotion of primary health care, licensing and control of undertakings that sell food for the public, cemeteries, funeral parlors, and crematoria, and refuse removal, dams and solid waste disposal, housing and sanitation. Members of this committee are Honorable Vincent Jagongo, who is the chairperson, Honorable Emily Oginga, the vice chairperson, Honorable Seth Okumu, member, Honorable Nereo Kombo, member, Honorable Kennedy Oko, member, Honorable Joachim Okech, member, and Honorable Rumbo Wade, member. Secretariat to the committee are Obonyo Angeline, clerk, assistant, Valerie Achieng, Hansard reporter, Mr. Abraham Odegi, sergeant at arms. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, below are the laws that enabled and govern the committee prior to, during, and post this exercise. each bed fixed with oxygen to curtail movement of patients from one bed or ward to another in search of oxygen, should their condition change, but only change the mode of treatment at the comfort of their bed. And to be able to fill up cylinders which the facility intends to supply to other facilities at a subsidized cost are moved aimed at reducing transfers of patients who require oxygen to JOTRH. Madam Speaker, another finding that the committee came across was that the type of MRI that the hospital currently has is not adequate to handle conditions that the hospital is receiving. It has 0.5 Tesla, but detecting cancer requires a machine of over 1.5 Tesla. And another finding is that the hospital's ICU has a space to accommodate 18 beds, but can only operate 4 on optimal, and a maximum of 6 beds when stretched due to the shortage of nurses, because there are patients who need maximum attention and for efficient and quality attention. One nurse can only manage a maximum of 2 patients. Madam Speaker and honorable members, specific observations by the committee were: number 1, unused spaces. The hospital has 220 bed capacity that it cannot operate due to lack of adequate nurses to run them, and thus remain closed. A 40 bed capacity for medical ward, a two wards of 80 bed capacity for surgical and burns, 100 bed capacity, which was the former COVID-19 center, earmarked as amenity ward. Those are the 3 facilities which are not being used currently by the hospital. The second observation by the committee was on operational status of equipment. The laboratory equipment are in good conditions, working and are being serviced. In radiology, there is 1 MRI machine and CT scan which are operational. There's an oxygen plant bought at 51 million shillings and is operating and serving the patients well. On the project, the committee observed that the first phase of the doctor's suite, which was 10 rooms, is complete and operational, and that the below listed are the projects currently ongoing at the hospital. The first one is the cancer center, the neurosurgical ward, and the modern kitchen. The next project that is on plan is the doctor's suite for second phase. Another observation by the committee was that the hospital currently requires the following: a lift marked at 10 million shillings, which has a ramp included. This will give accessibility to the neurosurgical unit and the burns unit, which is currently having an unused 80 bed capacity. Expansion of oxygen plant to second phase, which requires a budget of up to 100 million, which was not included in the budget due to the huge finance it requires. There's a BQ generated and forwarded to the county, and negotiations ongoing with AMREF for support. There's a training resource center for training the students admitted at the hospital, and the hospital has been offering trainings without a training center, so they need a training center. Madam Speaker and honorable members, the challenges at JTRH were as follows. The facility is currently facing the following challenges. Number 1, acute shortage of staff across all cadres, especially nursing, medical unit, which comprises the quality of services and attention of patients. Number 2, mass attrition of staff without replacement. Number 3, inadequate funding, as the county only allocate funds to the facilities based on population catchment, while the hospital gets referrals from up to 25 counties, who in this case are not budgeted for. Number 4, there's lack of maternity HDU. Number 5, the pending bills. The hospital currently owes medical supplies debts amounting to 40 million. Number 6, there's numerous waiver and exemption requests crippling the hospital's revenue. Number 7, there's late reimbursements from NHIF. Number 8, there's lack of a renal unit for children, as the renal unit for the facility is taking care of adults only. Number 9, there's unclaimed bodies. The hospital receives all police cases of bodies that end up requiring disposal, whose court process is long and strenuous. In all these challenges, there's been attempts by the hospital to address some of these challenges. And there are just about 3 challenges that they've tried to solve. Number 1 is the shortage of staff. The hospital has tried to bridge the gap by contracting additional 122 nurses, which it's paying with money that would have been used on commodities. The second one is on attrition of staff. The hospital wrote to the chief officer, and the hospital is optimistic to receive more staff from the recruitment currently ongoing. Number 3 is on the children's renal unit. The hospital has reached out and negotiated on an agreement with a South African company to place machines intended to cater for children at the facility and to allow the facility to buy renal commodities from them to run the unit. Madam Speaker and honorable members, the second facility to be visited was the Kisumu County Referral Hospital by this committee. And Kisumu County, I'll just give a brief background on Kisumu County Referral Hospital. This is a prominent healthcare institution that has been a vital pillar of medical services in the county. The hospital's history dates back to its establishment as the Kisumu District Hospital, which served as a general healthcare facility catering for the healthcare needs of the local population. Over time, recognizing the growing demands for the advanced medical services, the need to address a wider range of health conditions, and efforts were made to elevate the hospital status and capabilities. Its evolution into a comprehensive referral center underscores the commitment to providing high-quality healthcare and improving the overall health and well-being of the community. This transformation has significantly impacted the healthcare landscape of the region. It has not only improved the quality and accessibility of medical care for the local population, but has also contributed to the training and development of skilled healthcare professionals who serve the community. The hospital offers a comprehensive range of medical services to cater for various healthcare needs, as will be seen in this report. Some of the services offered at KCRH include accident and emergency services, outpatient services, clinical and obstetrics, gynecological inpatient and outpatient services, surgical inpatient services, psychiatric outpatient and inpatient services, pediatric inpatient and outpatient services, dental services, physiotherapy and occupational therapy, maternal and child health, that is MCH services, antenatal care, child welfare services, family planning services, nutrition services, comprehensive HIV and TB services, pharmacy services, youth and adolescent clinics, orthopedic and trauma services, medical social work. The committee's findings were, number 1, I'll go one word per word. Number 1 are the wards. The committee found out that the hospital is equipped with 8 wards, each serving specific medical needs. There's a newborn unit, maternity unit, gynecological ward, female medical ward, pediatric ward, surgical ward, there's a male and female ward, male medical ward, and psychiatric ward. The staff distribution. The hospital has a total of 308 staff distributed as follows. Consultant surgeons, they have 3. Consultant physicians, 3. Consultant gynecologists, 3. Consultant psychiatrists, 1. Consultant pathologist, 1. Consultant pediatricians, 2. Medical officers are 16 in total. And currently available at the hospital are only 4. On study leave, they have 12. There's a pharmacy, they have 11. Dental units, they have 3. Clinical officers, they have 21. Physiotherapists, they have 4. Community oral health workers, they have 2. Then other staff, where they have the health administrative officer, there's 1. Principal radiographer, 1. Principal radiographer are 2. Nurses are 236. Madam Speaker and honorable members, the committee further found out that the facility operates optimally and the hospital requires additional 278 nurses. The hospital also urgently requires a radiologist and an anesthesiologist. They further discovered that the hospital has experienced staff, with 8 personnel having left for various reasons, including retirement 4, resignation 3, and death 1. So far, there has not been any replacement, but the hospital is optimistic of receiving new staff following advertisements by the Public Service Board. The third finding on bed capacity is that the hospital has a total of 190 beds distributed among different wards as follows. Newborn unit, 14 beds. Maternity, 35 beds. Gynecology, 14 beds. Female medical ward, 27 beds. Pediatric ward, 28 beds. Surgical, 24 beds. Surgical, there's male and female. So 24 beds are divided equally, that is 12 each. There's a male medical ward, 20 beds. Psychiatric, 17 beds. They additionally found out that the hospital has 8 isolation beds for handling outbreaks and 3 fully equipped beds at the OPD or casualty for emergency that requires stabilization before admission. The fourth one are the ambulances. The facility has 2 ambulances. One broke down and is at the garage, and the other one is functional, though not optimally, as it keeps developing mechanical problems. And also that the level of the facility requires at least 2 additional fully equipped and fitted ambulances. The hospital also needs the following additional equipment: specialized equipment at the occupational therapy department, a CT scan, an MRI machine, ICU. Currently, they're relying on the one at JOTRH, which is also overstretched. There's the ECT machine for mental patients who are not responding to drug treatment. And that in the Auditor General, after auditing the hospital, the committee also found out that the Auditor General, after auditing the hospital recommended that the hospital should have an ICU and HDU, the hospital to engage a valuer to carry out valuation of the facility, and that's the end of the findings. Observations. Observations were as follows. The operational status of equipment. The committee assessed the operational status of various equipment in the hospital and observed as follows. That the hospital has 3 equipment on placement that are fully serviced and operational. There's a laboratory, digital X-ray machine, theater, and TSSM. Another observation is that the hospital has a standby generator and an incinerator that are both operational. That the hospital's new maternity wing is not equipped. The hospital has a 30 kg laundry machine that is broken down and currently uses a 13 kg laundry machine, which is insufficient for the entire hospital's need. The projects at the facility are, there are 2 proposed projects for the facility. The first one is the completion of the perimeter wall. There's a construction of the green energy kitchen, and the hospital also required, other projects required by the hospital are at the orthopedic department and the staff quarters. The challenges observed by the committee are the facility is currently facing the below listed challenges. Number 1 is the inadequate human resource, inadequate funding, delayed and erratic disbursement of current funding from the county, incomplete facilities, the new maternity wing is incomplete, dilapidated kitchen, poor drainage system that sees the hospital, especially the waiting bay, always flooded whenever it rains, inadequate equipment in theater, radiology, and laboratory, unequipped laundry unit. There's no parcel number for this facility, which means the land which the hospital sits has since led to, sorry, there's no parcel title. to the land in which the hospital sits, and that has since led to encroachment. There's no rehab for patients of substance abuse. The hospital currently mixes them at the psychiatric unit. There are pending bills. The hospital has never received monies for over 148 million pending bills running from 2017. And there are huge calls for waiver that has crippled the hospital's attempt to meet its revenue target. Madam Speaker and honorable members, the general findings and observation by this committee were, these findings are actually clumped together for all the referral facilities. Finding number one is that both hospitals suffer from inadequate funding and delayed disbursement of funds from the county government, NHIF, and among others, that are hampering the hospital's ability to provide comprehensive care and address various operational challenges. Our second finding is that both hospitals have experienced staff attrition due to retirement, resignation, transfers, and death without corresponding replacement. These staff, the committee was meant to understand, were on payroll, and it raises concern why the county government has for years failed to make placement. The case of JOTRH goes back to 2019 without any replacement. The third finding is that both hospitals are operating beyond their intended bed capacities due to the high number of patients and inadequate staffing. The fourth finding is that at referral level, KCRH does not have an ICU and relies on JOTRH, which has equally raised concerns that their ICU is understaffed and overstretched, leading to potential delays in critical care, provision, and a strain in medical services. Such circumstances can significantly impact the outcomes and chances of survival for critically ill patients. The fifth finding is that apart from providing insurance cover, one of the objectives of the Kisumu County Social Health Insurance Fund, MARWA, was to fund the indigent population within Kisumu County. It is sad to note that despite having provided services to MARWA patients, the hospital has accrued huge bills as a result that have never been reimbursed since. As to now, JOTRH alone is owed funds amounting to 19,100,000 shillings as reimbursed for services provided to MARWA patients. The sixth finding is that the contractors contracted to carry out projects always are overpaid more than the work done, after which they abandon the project. A case of the Cancer Center project at JOTRH. The contract that was awarded 165 million, the contractor has been paid 115 million and abandoned the site at 63%. The recommendation from the committee are as follows, Madam Speaker and honorable members. For the overall functioning and effectiveness of healthcare facilities in Kisumu County, the committee recommends: number one, that the Department of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation should collaborate closely with the Public Service Board to expedite the recruitment process and establish a mechanism for regular workforce assessment and planning. The second recommendation is that the Department of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation should collaborate closely with the Public Service Board to ensure that the facility and partner contracted staff are given priority during recruitment to relieve these hospitals from sourcing for human resource using monies that would have otherwise been spent on commodities. Recommendation number 3 is that given the importance of an ICU in providing timely and specialized care to patients with life-threatening conditions, the committee recommends that the county government should take immediate action and establish a well-equipped and adequately staffed ICU at Kisumu County Referral Hospital and ensure that the JOTRH is equally well-staffed to enable it to operate optimally and to its full capacity. Recommendation number 4 is that to enhance contractor oversight and accountability, the CCM for Public Administration and Governance should submit to this county assembly within 30 days of adoption of this report. Number 1, a rigorous monitoring and evaluation framework for construction contracts awarded within the county. Number 2, a detailed systematic progress assessment plan that links payment milestones to verifiable project completion stages that will ensure that contractors are incentivized to fulfill their obligations and deliver quality work. Recommendation number 5 is that to strengthen Marwa Fund operations, the CCM for Finance and Economic Planning, together with the CCM for Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation, should undertake a comprehensive review of the fund's financial management and reimbursement procedures to ensure that healthcare facilities are reimbursed promptly for services rendered. Second, within the issue of Marwa, is that the CCM for Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation, in conjunction with the CCM for Finance and Economic Planning, to establish and submit to this Honorable House within 30 days, upon adoption of this report, a transparent and efficient billing and reimbursement process aimed at preventing accumulation of unpaid bills, thereby safeguarding the financial stability of county healthcare institutions. The third recommendation under this Marwa Fund operations is submit to this House within 30 days upon adoption of this report, the implementation status report of the Kisumu County Social Health Insurance Fund, Marwa. The sixth recommendation by the committee is that the CCM for Finance and Economic Planning should introduce a conditional payment release system that requires a satisfactory progress report from the hospital management before contractors receive payment. Hospital management verification of completed project stages and compliance with quality standards should be a prerequisite for payment disbursement, as it will ensure that contractors are held accountable for delivering satisfactory work before receiving compensation. And the final recommendation is that to address irregularities and discrepancies in the project execution and financial transactions involving contractors, the committee recommends that the Auditor General conducts a comprehensive audit of all ongoing and completed projects within these facilities and not limited to the Cancer Center at the OTRH, and other cases where contractors have already received amounts significantly exceeding the work done, including the Cancer Center at the OTRH. In conclusion, Madam Speaker and honorable members, it is now my pleasure and on behalf of the committee to present this report of Medical Services and Public Health and Sanitation Committee on the status of referral hospitals in Kisumu County to this Honorable House for adoption. And I call upon Honorable Seth Okumu to second.
Yes, Honorable Seth Okumu. Honorable members, a report by Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation Committee on the status of referral hospitals in Kisumu County has been read by Honorable Emily Oginga, the Vice Chair Health, seconded by Honorable Seth Okumu, a member of the committee. I therefore want to propose that the report be open for discussion. Yes, Honorable Member representing Kaloleni Shaurimoyo Ward, Honorable Karen Odhiambo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will rise to support the report by Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation. Madam Speaker, I will thank the committee for the special recognition. Indeed, I was the part of the team that went to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital. The hospital has quite a number of challenges, and I'll just mention a few. Number one, it does not meet the standard number of human resource
required for the higher level 5. Had it been not for the students sent from the national government to train and in return offer services, it would have been worse. Number 2, the allocation given to the hospital is not enough for the smooth operation. For example, this financial year, they got 60 million, but the budget for inpatient alone is 80 million. And this made them to reduce the medication for the outpatient. And you can just see that is not good. For us as a county to get good services from the hospital, we need to put more allocation to the Department of Health. And I want to thank Honorable Chair Emily Oginga, a member, Seth Okumu. In fact, you are few, but the way they debated, you would thought there were 12 members. Thank you.
Honorable Ochele, you want to say something about this? Yes, Honorable Benio Iko, member representing Kabonyo Kanyagwal Ward.
And a member who is a committee-less in the House, Madam Speaker. But all the same, Madam Speaker, let me also have a look at the report and make some little contribution, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the report is presented by the committee on their work. And when I look at the report, Madam Speaker, on page 14, number 2, they are talking of audit report and the recommendation of the auditor. I wish they could refer to the audit here when the auditor made the recommendation. And because it is surprising when the auditor is saying that the hospital should be degraded to level 4, when the county government of Kisumu should be fighting for our hospital to be graded to level 6. I wish the year of audit could have been stated. Because when the auditor degrades the hospital to level 4, what does it mean? The resources it gets are too little. The human resource there are inadequate. So our facility should not be considered to move to level 6. That is a report we are given by the committee. Madam Speaker, when we also go to the same page 14, number 3, we are being told that 60 million was allocated for drugs and that the budget for the inpatient alone stands at 80 million per year. They are talking of the inpatient, not the outpatient. We would have liked to get the picture of the total budget, because I know they were referring to the commodities. These are the common drugs in the hospital. What is the total allocation for the hospital to sufficiently serve the patients on commodities? We ought to have been given that, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on page 15, we are also being told of an item, MRI, that is 0.5 Tesla, but the hospital needs 1.5. That means the medical department needs to do something so that our people are served well. Madam Speaker, when I continue with the report, generally we are being told that there is understaffing in the hospital. If there is understaffing in the hospital, that means more human resource should be employed. But a picture is also given that the people who have resigned, people who had died, and people who have left the job, the service, are still on the payroll. What does it imply? Poor management of resources of the county. Poor management of resources of the county. Because once someone has resigned, someone has died, people have gone on study leave, which is unpaid, they should not be paid. A prompt replacement should be done, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this House should take this matter seriously, and the department, and that is the department and the Public Service Board, prevailed upon so that a policy is developed to do replacement at good intervals, because medical services is very essential. We cannot take too long before replacement is done. But I know currently there is replacement going on. The replacement going on, is it supposed to make good what they are referring to in this record, or we could have got that picture, Madam Speaker? They are also talking here of the pending bills from 2017 of 148 million. Madam Speaker, if the contractors, the suppliers, have not been paid from 2017 up to now, this gives a very gloomy picture of the services offered, the construction works that were ongoing, and there must be something that needs to be addressed. Why have they taken all this long to be paid, Madam Speaker? Because when you don't pay your suppliers in time, you don't pay contractors in time, you don't expect good services from them. And I wish if the contractors could have been tabulated, the year of the contract, the amount, so that this House could take that matter head on. Because it is frustrating for that to happen in an institution. Madam Speaker, we are also being told on page 25 of a construction work that was going on at 165 million. The contractor had been paid 115 million. He abandoned the work. That is the picture we are being given. He abandoned the work. When you look at 115 million and 165 million, the difference is 50 million, the balance, and unpaid. Was this contractor overpaid, or he was paid within the scope of the work he had done? The picture we are given, he was overpaid. Was this done intentionally?
Thank you, Honorable Oikopete. I can see Honorable Bill Odhiambo, member representing Kobura Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to comment on the report by the Health Committee. Madam Speaker, from our report, I want to thank the committee for a work well done even though from the report I was looking at every page and I was expecting to at least read that we even have mattresses on the floor. I've not seen that. So I don't know if the report was trying to cover some things or protect some image. But I was at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Referral Hospital yesterday. And there's a ward just below. We have the ward 4 up and down just below ward 4. A whole ward with mattresses on the floor. There are no beds. So I was expecting our report to show us that clear picture. But I've not seen that from the report. I want to thank the county government. Recently, the county government is trying to meet the number of nurses that have been requested. But my concern is we have some people, there's a number there, I saw 122 people that have been working, and I know most of them have applied. So I'm trying to be positive that most of them, especially members who have been working there, will be given consideration, being that already they were there. It is saddening from the report that until now, a whole big hospital has 2 ambulances and 1 is not operational. So I'm wondering, equipping 1 Land Cruiser can take how many or how much? Because I believe with a good running system, there are some amounts that you can't be discussing here at the assembly. They are supposed to be sought. Because you can't say 1 ambulance is not operating, how and why. It means there's somebody somewhere who is sleeping on the job. And from the report, the committee should be given another, through the chair, to look and find out why is this happening in this county. It is happening in the other hospital and the other hospital, the 2 hospitals that are in this report. At least 1 ambulance in every hospital is not operational. And we are serving a very big county. And then we want to say an ambulance, just 1. You know, if the report was saying we have around 450 ambulances that are not working, at least we will be discussing financial constraints. But 1 ambulance, and then we want to say that is financial constraints. Somebody is sleeping on his job. I'm also saddened from the report that we have from Jaramogi Oginga that the ICU, that is the most critical part of the hospital, has the capacity of holding 18 beds, yet 4 are operational. So we can't be discussing as a county we want our hospital to be elevated to level 6, yet such simple things can't be done in our county. So I agree with the report that from level 5 it should be taken back to 4 until as a county we become serious with the health issues. The Committee of Health, I'm happy with your report, and I believe you've taken into consideration that district, what is the name? District hospital has the new maternity wing is not equipped. That hospital is also serving a very, very big population, and I believe we are going to move with speed to discuss with the county government on how it is going to be equipped, because it is serving a very big population in Kisumu. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Abeid.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, I want to congratulate the committee for taking the opportunity to go around the hospital and bring the challenges that are facing our main hospital in Kisumu County. But I also must say that of all the devolved functions of government, health remains one of the most complicated, and it is not just unique to Kisumu County, but it is a challenge all over the 47 counties. However, I'm happy that for the first time I hear a report that at least closely mirrors the problems that our public hospitals face. And I want to encourage the Chair for Health and the committee to keep the House updated on the issues Mheshimiwa Ochele raised. There are some very serious issues of patients sleeping down on mattress on floors. It is real, and I'm alive to that. And also what Mheshimiwa Bill said, let us support the governor on the health issue, because it is as complicated. The complications actually start from the national government trickling down here. So as Kisumu County, we can only support and point in here and there what the county can do to make it better for all of us. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
My eyes had caught Honorable Caroline Opar. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Now, first, I would like to thank the committee for this report. And first, I would like to say I really second this report. Now, I think I have the latest report because I'm just from Jaramogi Oginga Odinga right now, and things are really bad there, and they should be tackled. First, the staff. There is no enough staff there. Therefore, the trainees are the ones who are trying to handle, and they are not doing the work sufficiently. So when I read this recommendation, I really say that this committee really did their work. Now, too, there is a patient, I think, I'm telling you, I'm having the latest report. I have a patient who is very ill, who had a stroke. The patient is being discharged and has not healed so far. The reason being that there are no beds, they are understaffed there, they cannot handle those people. So they are discharging the patients even without the patients recovering, which is so pathetic. My next patient is in ICU. It was really difficult for us to get the person, get the oxygen. So when I came here rushing and I found this report, I said this report, I must thank the people who really took care, wrote it. And the way Mheshimiwa Oiko said that things are not good in our medical services, it is really true. So we should move with speed, and we take care of, if we want our people's life to be saved, we should really act with speed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. What is your point of order? Which standing order are you raising on?
Madam Speaker, point of information or what?
Who do you want to inform, Honorable Billy? Honorable Billy?
I want to.
You was rising on a point of order.
Madam Speaker, there's a report.
Honorable Billy, can you mention the standing order upon which you are rising?
I'm rising on standing order 89.
It seems like to do, because you are standing on a point of order, at the same time you want to inform. I don't know who you want to inform.
Madam Speaker, I'm rising on a point of...
Give the opportunity to inform.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Which order?
89.
Yes, Honorable Bill, continue.
We were discussing health report, and there's a latest report. I've heard it from Honorable Lawino, and I wanted to know this report because I don't have it. Thank you.
Honorable Lawino.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I was trying to support the report with the latest evidence that I've come with.
Honorable Billy, Honorable Lawino is so much in order because she was supporting, actually giving evidence of the findings that are written here in this report, citing the very recent examples that exist in Jotiarech. So, Honorable Lawino, you are in order. Honorable Seth Okumu.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was asked to second the report, and I did it in a way to allow me to contribute later, because I'm a member of the committee. I travel in these facilities, and I wholly support the motion to adopt this report. Madam Speaker, our intention of visiting these facilities is to bring a raw report to members so that they can make a decision. Madam Speaker, with this report, we expect the members to help us find solutions, not to cry more. We didn't bring this report so that members can lament. We went there to bring the true picture. And I really want to agree with Honorable Lawino on adding what might have been the latest. But after adding all those, what can we do? I had my brother, Honorable Bill, mention that ambulances are spoiled. We had said that the ambulances are spoiled. What do we do as an assembly so that the ambulances can be repaired? That is what we expected from the members of this house. I listened to my brother, Honorable Iko, and all he did was cry, cry, cry. But that was not our intention when we brought this report. I will be bringing more. Some of the things we wanted these honorable members to help us address was issues like budgeting. Now we have a report that tells you the situation at the hospital. How many of you stand in this house and say that Jaramogi needs more money? These honorable members, most of them only fight for their wards. Very few consider Jaramogi until you take a patient there. And that's why we thought it different, honorable members, that we visit all the facilities, if possible. If not, then most of them, so that we tell you the status of referral hospital, the status of sub-county hospital, the status of dispensaries, health centers, so that as we plan as an assembly, where we need legislation, we can make that decision using this report. Where we need issues of budget, we can use this report. Where we need issues of directing donors who are willing to help Kisumu, we can use this report to help make those decisions. Madam Speaker, as we say that the situations on these hospitals are not that good. But having gone there, most of it is due to the meager resources that we are having. The resources that we are having, yes, we know comes from the exchequer. But we also do our own source revenue. How can we work on improving our own source revenue so that we can have more money to improve services in our hospitals? When we were visiting these hospitals, it was agreed, even with staff, that some of the people working in those hospitals steal drugs, but they don't correlate how that affects the mother or her sister or her father or her son when they now go to seek medication. And the people who take those drugs are our brothers, and sisters and cousins. Those are the issues that we brought in this report so that we can talk about. Madam Speaker, on the issue of contract, we have had cases where our engineers approve for payment of contracts beyond the works that have been done. What can we do as an assembly? And we've given an example in this report where a contractor has been paid close to 90%, yet he has done only 63% of the work. How can we help so that those hospitals do not pay for works not done? Madam Speaker, I've heard my brother, Honorable Vincent Jagongo, struggle to put money here for equipping facilities. But most of our members only focus on building new dispensaries. And in each and every proposal you'll see, like Honorable Dede here, is planning to do a new dispensary. And at the same time, Nyahera Sub-County Hospital, that we have this report about, is just about to be auctioned because somebody claims that that land belongs to.
Order, Honorable Dede, where are you on your feet? How has your name been mentioned, Honorable Dede?
Every time your name is mentioned.
Order, sit down, Honorable Dede. Order.
Sit down.
Honorable Seth, continue.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for protecting me. Madam Speaker, as we were walking around, and I was giving an example with my brother, Honorable Dede, that Nyahera Sub-County Hospital is just about to be auctioned because the land was donated to the hospital and the transfer has not been done. This is happening also in our referral hospitals. Kisumu County Referral Hospital, yes, it's a hospital, but without the title deed, the land belongs to somebody else. How do we work as an assembly so that we have these hospitals sit on the title deeds that belong to the county government or in the name of those hospitals?
Honorable Dede, what is it? Honorable Seth, give him a minute. We see what he has to say.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to also comment on what...
Order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me time to defend myself. I've been mentioned. I've heard Honorable Seth Okumu talking of the facility being auctioned in Royal. Can you bring the statement of fact?
Honorable Dede, you are out of order. The report has stated that KDH does not have a title on which it's standing, and that is a true fact. We found that with other facilities like Paponditi County Hospital. So what Honorable Seth is talking about is not far-fetched, but is the fact on the ground. And mentioning a facility within your ward is just but an example. So Honorable Dede, you are out of order. Honorable Seth, continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for protecting me. You know, Honorable Dede plans to buy a piece of land from that facility, and we won't allow him. And that's...
Order, Honorable Dede, sit down. Order.
But Madam Speaker, as I was continuing, that we need to have our facilities sit on titles that belong to them. And I remember, I know Honorable Bill has facilities in his ward that you need to start thinking. This is just an example. Imagine if a referral hospital is sitting on land that does not belong to them. How about that dispensary in Kobura? What can we do as an assembly? This is just a guide onto what we need to do as members of the assembly. I wish the honorable member for Kabonyo Kanyagwal was here. I would have asked him because he left us that he was going to the national government to bring development. Some of the development we want from the national government is the transfer of JTRH to the national government. And that place he can, I mean, those are the development that he wants. But he's coming here and complaining more than us who have not gone there. So I want to implore on him, wherever he is, that we are struggling to have JTRH transferred to the national government so that we are relieved of close to 800 workers that the national government can pay. And we can get close to 8 billion from the national government to run your TRH. And then the money that we spend on your TRH can be used to get more staff to equip our health centers, sub-county hospitals, and dispensaries. Madam Speaker, this report is a pointer to our honorable members that there is something that we need to do. Some of them we have mentioned in the report. We have recommendations, but we need it to be more juicy. We need you guys to spice it up so that by the time this report is adopted, we have very concrete recommendations that we can go to either to the Department of Health, Department of Finance, the Auditor General, so that we can improve services to the people of Kisumu. Madam Speaker, I support the adoption of this report. And Madam Speaker, this report will help us improve service delivery. And I want to implore on the Committee on Health to not stop at the referral hospitals. They should go deeper into our county hospitals, sub-county hospitals, health centers, dispensaries, so that we know all the status of operations of all those facilities before we go to the next budgeting cycle. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Seth. Yes, Honorable Kennedy Ajo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, going by the mood of this House, I call the mover to reply.
Wow. That call has received a lot of support from even a member who represents the biggest ward in Kisumu County. Yes, Honorable Emily.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, I'd like to appreciate the House for supporting this report. Maybe I'd just like to give a brief story of our experience when we were going down the health facilities. You know, I think it was a very good idea for the committee to come up with this program in our work plan, because when we visited JOTRH, the first facility that we went to, we could actually see there was some tension amongst the staff. But the moment we talked to them and told them we are only here to carry out our oversight role, there's no problem, because previously, from the experience, is that whenever they see members of the county assembly coming to the facility, maybe there was a problem. Maybe there was a bad report that had been brought to the floor of the House. But on this occasion, we had a candid discussion with the officers in charge, which was well represented by various key departments. Like we had the hospital, the CEO of the hospital present. We had the nursing director in charge also present. We had the person in charge of the finances, the admin, the MO, and also the procurement office and the pharmacy department. They were well represented, and we had a very good discussion. And after that, we visited the ongoing project, which was the realistic. The current situation, we walked into the ward and also went to the ongoing project, and actually we saw exactly what they were talking about. What I'd like to tell the honorable members is that I know previously we've focused more on brick and mortar as we draw the budget, because I know in our role, you know, when you go back to the ground and tell your people, you want to show them what they are seeing. We always want to point at a dispensary and tell them, I promised you that I'm going to build this hospital. You see, I built the hospital. I'd like to encourage our members that it's time for us to invest in human capital. Because when we went around all these facilities, the key issue that was raised by the management is a shortage of staff. It was a sad situation when we went to a ward, to a place that was that's supposed to be a ward. It was renovated, I think, 3 years ago. And it can't be equipped because of lack of nurses. If it's equipped, then it means that award has to be denied the staff. Or the current number of staff will be overwhelmed because they have to shuttle in between the wards, which is not also fair on them. So far, I think we have enough wards. What we need to do is to focus on equipping these wards, equipping them both in human capital and also in assets. I'd also like to mention something on Kisumu County Referral Hospital. We all know that KCRH is the only facility that is offering psychiatric treatment. Currently, we have mental health care as a very big challenge in this country and in the world over. We need to focus more on the mental health care because looking at KCRH, it is not well equipped to handle all the healthcare, all the mental health care cases that are actually coming up. They are overwhelmed. So I think we also need to focus and also encourage other facilities and come up with mental health care facilities. Another key issue that came up is on ownership. I know it's been mentioned. You know, very soon, maybe one day if we do valuation, you might actually find that KCRH is on someone else's name. I'm sorry to say this because nobody knows who is handling that title deed. So it would also be unfair to the county to keep on investing money on a property that doesn't belong to the county. I think the Department of Lands need to move up with speed and sort out this issue before we end up losing a lot as a county. Another issue is on the retired staff. I know Honorable Oikopete mentioned an issue, although I didn't see it in the report, that there are retired staff who are still on the payroll. We didn't mention that in our report. We just mentioned that they retired and they haven't been replaced yet. Although currently we know the Public Service Board actually working on recruitment of staff, which hopefully, we hope that they'll be able to fill up the gaps that are there. Madam Speaker, as I finish up, with the work plan that the Committee on Health has, I think if we implement it, and by the end of this financial year, this House will be able to get the real picture of the current status of the health care of this county. Because if you look at our work plan, we already giving a report for our first quarter, where we plan to visit referral hospitals, and we are also currently visiting sub-county hospitals. From sub-county hospitals, we are going to go down to the health centers and the dispensaries, and we'll come back and give you the real picture of what is going on in our facilities. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because previously we visited Mama Lucy Hospital in Nairobi, and we also visited Kenyatta National Hospital, and we brought a report to the floor of this House. And I think it was just right for us to have done that because usually when you want to make improvements, you go to the giants and see what they are doing. Then you come back home, view the situation, then see where the gaps are, then find a way around how to work around it. And I believe that if we carry out this work plan well, at the end of it all, we'll be able to know exactly where to put our monies on healthcare matters. And Madam Speaker, I would also implore the members that as we're going around the sub-counties, we belong to different wards in different sub-counties. I'd like to encourage members who will be visiting their sub-counties and wards to please come and accompany us as we visit these facilities. Then you can also know what is happening around your health facilities. Because you find that during that time, we get a lot of information that maybe you might not be privy to. So I would like to encourage you to come and join us as we go around so that we can work together towards improving the medical services of this county and to benefit our people. And also, remember, when we have a good healthcare system, then we'll be working around having medical tourism within the county, which is also a way of generating revenue for this county. Otherwise, thank you so much for supporting this report. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, a report by the Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation Committee on the status of referral hospitals in Kisumu County has been read, seconded, effectively deliberated upon, and I now want to put a question that may as many of the opinion that this report be adopted say aye. May as many of that contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The House adopts the report with the recommendations. And honorable members, the report raises a number of recommendations to different departments. Honorable members, I can see a total of 7 very strong and important recommendations directed to CCM Finance, recommendation directed to internal audit, and a number of recommendations made to the Department of Health. Therefore, honorable members, it is my humble duty to declare the adoption of the report by Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation Committee on the status of referral hospitals in Kisumu County, adopted today, Thursday 10th, August 2023, at 16:13 hours, and that the recommendation therein, the report together with the recommendation and the Hansard be prepared and forwarded to the 3 departments for necessary action, and a report be brought back to the House through the Department of Health and the Committee on Pick and Pack within 30 working days. Thank you, honorable members. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. Adjournment on definite matter of urgent county importance, that is devolution conference and the annual edition of the sports and cultural bonanza, that is Casa Games, with the Honorable Kennedy Ooko.
Yes, Honorable Moses Ochele.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Leader of Majority, Honorable Kennedy Ooko, to move a motion on the adoption of the report, to move a motion on the adjournment on definite matter of urgent county importance, that is devolution conference and the annual edition of the sports and cultural bonanza Casa Games. Madam Speaker, and the honorable members, aware that the Council of Governors has convened the 8th annual devolution conference in Eldoret, that's in Gishu County, starting from 15th August 2023 to 19th August 2023, and that the honorable members have been invited to make attendance. Further, aware that the County Assembly Sports Association, CASA,
a scheduled annual edition of Sports and Cultural Bonanza in Nakuru from 19th August 2023 to 27th August 2023, where the county assemblies at large is required to take part in. Acknowledging that orders number 31, Saboda 1, the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders states, any member may at any time rise in his or her own and seek leave to move the adjournment of the county assembly for the purpose of discussing a definite matter of urgent county importance. Further acknowledging that orders number of Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders states, on a day when the county assembly is scheduled to adjourn to a day other than the next normal sitting day, in accordance with the county assembly's calendar, the leader of majority party or the leader of minority party or another member of the county assembly business committee shall move a motion of adjournment, which shall be debated for not more than 3 hours, after which the county assembly shall adjourn without question put. Now, therefore, this assembly now urges members to adjourn the House until Tuesday, 29th August 2023, to allow members and the county assembly at large to respectively participate in the two events. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move. And may I request Honorable Seto Kumu to second the motion on adjournment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Seto Kumu.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I rise to second the motion on adjournment. Madam Speaker, we cannot miss to go to devolution conference. It's almost 15 years. Madam Speaker, it's close to, from 2013 to date. How many years? 8 years. 2024. Madam Speaker, I'm sitting next to people who did not do well in math. And I was telling them that we started devolution in 2013. And I just asked them a simple question of how many years has it taken since we started devolution, and they're telling me 20 years, and I'm like, no, it's 11. So, Madam Speaker, 11 years, we need to evaluate. We've been implementing projects and doing developments and running governments under the new constitution. Madam Speaker, in this conference, that's when members will know the challenges that have been there. That's when the government will know why we need we can communicate to the government why we need independence of the county assemblies. Madam Speaker, that's where we can communicate why we need more resources to counties, because the constitution devolved functions, but resources were not devolved. Madam Speaker, you see the sergeant standing at me and I'm struggling with the microphone. Send them out. So, Madam Speaker, it's really important that all members attend the devolution conference so that we can evaluate the things that we've done under the 11 years of devolution. And we can come back and do legislations that are congruent with what we are supposed to be doing under the new constitution. So, Madam Speaker, I support that we adjourn, and I want to implore on all the members that please let's purpose to go to that conference. And let's purpose to attend the conference and listen to submissions that will be done at the conference. Madam Speaker, on Thursday, it's been slotted that our party leader, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, will be presenting at the devolution conference. I want to ask all honorable members of this House that however busy you will be, but on that particular day, come and listen to the father of devolution, because the people who have been presidents in this Kenya did not support devolution, and he did. So on that day, that's when you will know what he envisaged about devolution, what we have done, and the gaps that are still missing so that we get it perfect. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I support that we adjourn for devolution conference.
Honorable members, an adjournment motion on definite matter of great county importance. That is attendance of devolution conference and the annual edition of the sports and cultural bonanza, that is Casa Games, has been moved by Honorable Ochele, seconded by Honorable Seth Okumu. I therefore want to propose that the motion be open for discussion. But honorable members, it's worth noting that while speaking on a matter such as this, no member shall speak for more than 5 minutes, except the mover, who may speak for 10 minutes. So I want to propose that the motion be debated upon. Yes, honorable member representing Migosi Ward, Honorable Pamela Oyo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to support this motion of adjournment because this is a matter of importance. Devolution has created many things in this county, and we must give devolution the greatest importance that it deserves. It is important that we go for devolution conference to strengthen devolution ideas. It is because of devolution that we are in this assembly. I want to say this is an important event. We need to create time and go to the conference. Again, I want to say co-curriculum is as important as any business of the day. Sports is important, it is healthy, it is required in our system. If we are going for sports, it's part of learning, it is part of working. I want to appreciate the convenience of the sports, that we are able to go and run around, do games, become healthy. Madam Speaker, I'm supporting this motion because the motion is very important for the working of this assembly. I stand to support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Boyton Ratib, member representing Nyalenda A Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also arise to support the adjournment motion. Madam Speaker, the devolution conference is a very important aspect when it comes to matters pertaining to county government. And for that matter, Madam Speaker, I support that the House adjourn for that important occasion. Madam Speaker, my worry is only that the venue where this devolution conference will take place. I've been trying to contemplate whether I will be commuting on a daily basis. Well, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, that has been my worry, just as I've said, but trying to figure it out, I think we are likely going to spend in Eldoret for 5 good days. I want to support what Honorable Seth Okumu said. He mentioned one particular day, that is on Thursday, when the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga will be attending the devolution conference. As much as he was emphasizing that we, even if we are busy, we make sure that we attend it on that day. I'm telling my brother that as Kisumu County Assembly, we will attend the conference all the 5 days. Now, Madam Speaker, talking about CASA sports, this will also create a very good, conducive environment where we will interact freely, very freely, with our counterpart assemblies, the 46. And I believe from that sports, Madam Speaker, we will come back here very jubilated, and I've also trained for football.
Honorable Ratib, what kind of interaction are you anticipating during CASA games?
There is a lot of interaction, Madam Speaker. We have local interaction between us and members of other county assembly, including the other sex. Madam Speaker, these are things that we all understand, because it also gives us some sort of benchmarking. It's not a matter of only sports. During our free times, we will be talking to our counterparts, asking them how they are managing their counties, how they are managing their assemblies, and on coming back, Madam Speaker, you will see this assembly very rejuvenated. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Billy Odhiambo, member representing Kobura Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support. We are going to the devolution conference, and I'm happy. At least we are going to share and know where we have come from, where we are now, and where we want to go. Another thing that I believe we are going to discuss, because devolution itself is a system. I believe we've been having a lot of debates on whether the MCA should be, the issues should be looked at. Some of them we've discussed, some of them we've not yet discussed, and I believe this is the platform where we are going to discuss such issues, because for devolution to work, it is a chain that ends up with the last man being the MCA. And we can't talk about devolution working, yet the MCAs are not valued in that system of devolution. So I believe this is a platform that MCAs should go, and we ensure that we air our views well, because if this is a conference that is going to look at where we've come from, where we are, and where we're going, then it means the MCA's issues from remuneration and other issues should be looked at so that devolution works. Because you can't say we are looking at the system up but down, we are not looking at that system. Another thing, I support the adjournment because sports is should be part of our lives. Because looking at the way of life of people today, you realize that sports plays a very critical role in our systems. It is going to help us at least to get that opportunity to interact with other members and know a lot that is happening elsewhere within Kenya, and they also know what is happening within Kisumu. And that sharing of ideas, as we interact at the sports, we get to get more ideas to come and develop our county. And I want to encourage members that starting from after sports, let us develop a culture of having a sport culture, not only when we have this annual meeting for sports. Let us have that culture. Let us support that culture so that at some point we can even have our assembly playing friendly matches with other assemblies. I'm told that in the first assembly, Honorable Ochele can confirm this, they used to even go to other counties for sports. But I've not seen this in our assembly. I believe let us have that, we can have that culture starting from now. Thank you.
Honorable Matara, Chair, Sports and Culture.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to support the motion. I want to support the adjournment. And actually, I'm very grateful that you've given us a chance that we can now do our practices. And I just want to urge members, like, you have to practice at least for you to be fit. Because I tried going around and I found most of the members are not doing the practices. I make an attempt of calling each and everyone to know which discipline you have. And I think I've reached all the members. Kindly do make an effort for practice. I want to support on what my colleague, Honorable Bill, has said. And I think for us now, going onwards, we should have at least inter-counties or friendly matches that we can do if need, like every year, before doing the competition of the CASA games, we should be having some friendly matches with the other counties so that you can be fit. Not only when you're having CASA is when you do the practices, and then we find ourselves like we can't do it and have to poach others from outside to help us. So I think that is...
Order, Honorable Matara. Order. Honorable Member, you are the Chair Sports. And we want to insinuate that your department does not have enough members, and you as a chair is forced to poach out other players. Honorable Matara, can you clarify your statement? And does it mean that honorable members only need to be fit for sports? So, Honorable Matara, you are the Chair Sports. Can you make clear order? Order, Honorable Member. Resume your seat, Honorable Matara. Can you make your statement clear, Honorable Matara, on this?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I withdraw my statement. And honorable members, kindly make an attempt to do your practice so they will be fit. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Mickey, my eyes caught you, unless you are just applauding your neighbor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was just applauding my neighbor for her brave remarks. Thank you.
Honorable Alando.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam.
Honorable Alando is very much in order. We live in a society where everyone chooses which sex to identify with. So protect me, Madam Speaker. You are protected, Honorable Seth, sit down. Order. Okay, Madam. Order, Honorable Seth, sit down.
Point of order.
Order. Honorable Alando, continue.
I'm on a point of order.
Order. Speaker. Order, Honorable Seth.
Having seen the mood of the House.
But I'm on a point of order.
Order. Resume your seat, Honorable Seth.
Considering the agenda that was on the floor, I want to call upon the mover to reply.
But I'm on a point of order.
Order. order. You are out of order.
I'm not out of order because this.
Order, Honorable Seth. Honorable Chele, can you reply to the motion?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for according me a chance to reply. And Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, before I make a move, may I kindly request you to, that I lend Honorable Seth a minute. Maybe the point of what he wants to mention can guide us in a way.
Honorable Ochele, you've been called upon to reply. Can you reply to the motion?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you are hard on your colleague. This network of friendship is dying. It is waning. Anyway, let me proceed. May I take this chance to first thank members who have endured the time to see to the end of this motion, and for some of us who have seen it fit to at least contribute to this very important part of our calendar. Madam Speaker, it is indeed a very good topic that we are going to showcase what we have achieved so far in devolution for the past 11 years. Madam Speaker, all of us here are a product of devolution. So when we talk of a devolution conference, Madam Speaker, I believe everybody is upbeat just to go and attend that event. And most particularly when the name of the end of politics and the father of devolution is accorded a special day to address us on matters of devolution, I think that members should accord him the support he needs by being around him when he will be giving us his keynote address. Madam Speaker, it is true that Eldoret is difficult. Some of us made early arrangements by booking, and the rest of us who didn't do that, I'll guide you accordingly so that you get some conducive environments to spend the night. I'm well versed with the environment there, and I'm connected. So my colleagues like Honorable Boyton, be assured that your security will be taken care of by the chair security. And Madam Speaker, on the side of CASA games, I'm a proud member here by seeing CASA inscribed in our order paper. And that's something which I hatched with some of our colleagues in other counties, registered it, and it now became a serious outfit that accommodates sporting activity in the country. I'm proud to have been the first Secretary General for 4 years, and during that time, Madam Speaker, we used to organize not just one event like the one we are here to attend, but we could organize events, even inter-county exchange programs in terms of sports. I can remember football team used to go to Mombasa, other teams come, was in Gishu coming here. And Madam Speaker, maybe things have changed because the resources have been dwindling, but the best way of handling sports is that any time when we feel saturated, some of our members can at least get connection and showcase their talents outside this county. Madam Speaker, it is not lost in my memory that we even took members of netball, where the commissioner here was a beneficiary. We went to Zanzibar for 10 days, and we really enjoyed in the process of exchanging our cultural and social livelihoods. Madam Speaker, in these scenarios where we talk of sports, I heard my colleague Honorable Boyton talk of mingling. There is no boundary in mingling. In this assembly, we have young, talented, single, searching and ready to mingle. If the CASA event can be a platform of getting a lifetime partner, then I beseech you, we proceed. We have our last born here. He has not declared his marital status. Maybe, if he has not, then that's an event where he can get a girl from outside Kisumu County. I'm saying that on a light note, but it can be a reality. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I beseech all members to take part in at least one game so that we don't just be mere spectators. There are a number of games for those whose bodies are rigid, like Okoyos. You can get something like Honorable Okoyo's friend. You can get something to do, because I know you have interest in tug of war. But you can do other game other than tug of war, so that your name is...
Order, Honorable Alando.
My name has been mentioned.
No, Honorable Alando. I did hear your name being mentioned, unless your name is called Honorable Okoye.
Mr. Chair, I think...
Are you Okoyos?
Mr. Chair, you are very right. Because I only mentioned Okoyo's friend, and there are many Okoyo friends here. I don't know why Honorable Eunice Alando is on her feet. Anyway, I'm just generally saying that at least every member to get something to participate in. Because the pattern here is that those who take part in these activities get more remunerated than those who don't. So, Honorable Eunice, my friend, I know you can do it. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I'm very happy for you. But at the same time, I empathize that you can't play the game you love most, that is netball. Unless you love the other one, you can proceed to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. A motion on the adjournment on definite matter of urgent county importance, that is the devolution conference and the annual edition of the Sports and Cultural Bonanza, CASA Games, has been moved, seconded, and debated upon. Honorable members, I want to draw attention to our standing orders number 26.3, and I quote that on a day when the county assembly is scheduled to adjourn to a day other than the normal sitting day in accordance with the county assembly calendar, the leader of majority party or the leader of minority party or another member of the county assembly business committee shall move a motion of adjournment which shall be debated for not more than 3 hours, after which the county assembly shall adjourn without the question put. Honorable members, I therefore want to declare that the House stands adjourned until Tuesday, 29th August 2023 at 14:30 hours.